Let's not be shy about it. If you put a man rabbit with his dingley-doo into a cage with a lady rabbit who hasn't got a winkle, 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 wiggle, then you get the Crow Show with your host.
An Irishman, an Irishman, an Irishman, an Irishman, an Irishman, an Irishman, and a Scotsman. And I think an Australian as well.
So,
sit back,
relax,
and enjoy.
Just hitting the waves and playing ninja in the back of the freaking pontoon boat. Just sitting there, and then every time we'd hit a bump, somebody would like jump before we hit the wave, and they would fly like 15 feet in the air.
Oh yeah, man, we used to do that in the berthing area all the time. I made it almost all the way across once.
Oh, and when the boat, like the people that would get seasick on the big pontoon boat, the boat was anchored down while we were scuba diving, and it would go sideways on the side of the waves. So It was like tipping over them. Oh man, that killed them. It was so funny. I was in the water scuba diving, trying not to laugh because you see all these fish eating all the puke. And, had to swim through it. Nasty.
We had this one guy, he was a bosun mate, which means he's a guy that most of his career was going to be spent on boats. And he fucking chucked every time it got rough.
So much for that career option.
Yeah, dude. Like, damn, son. I had to step in for him a couple of times. Like, every time before you go in or out of the port, we had to do a navigation brief.
So what you're saying is his career
brief
counselor...
the whole command on... Yeah, his career. He made a poor career choice.
His career counselor was crap, so... Yeah.
But yeah, like, I had to step in for him for these nav briefs for the whole command, like, all the time. Just totally unprepared. The only part I studied up was my job. So I had to read through this fucking 15-page PowerPoint to the whole command about shit that I had no idea what I was talking about. Because this dude's out in the fucking bridge wing throwing up.
Oh, man.
Like, bitch, we haven't left the pier yet.
Jeez.
I'm gonna puke.
So you're doing his job while he's just sitting back, eating the chow, and it's long for
Nah, he did the hard work.
ride.
He put it together. I just had to give the brief.
I had a buddy of mine that couldn't even ride Pirates of the Caribbean ride, because he'd puke.
Shit, my wife can't go around a fucking rotary at top speed.
Oh man.
No, I've never had.
All right.
Never had problems with that.
Everybody go with the topics tonight? What are we doing?
Apocalypse.
I said on Twitter we'd talk a little bit about Father's Day and apocalypse prepping.
Well,
Okay.
not a father, so count me out of that discussion.
But your father's here.
Well,
No, he's
happy
not.
Father's Day to all the
That's not
fathers
my real
out there.
dad. I'm just kidding.
Because by the time
this is
everybody
long.
watches this, it should be close to Sunday, so... Yay, me!
I remember you said... Hang on, Brandon, I remember you said that when you want another thing of goobers.
I said you're my clone. It looks like I shit you out.
Right? No.
Or you shit
You're
me
my
out.
Or
clone.
vice versa.
Yep.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm 200 years old.
I am forever. Fucking Highlander over here.
Yeah. Well, I am immortal, so... I don't know what you guys are, but... I know what I am. That's for one. That's for sure.
I'm pretty sure I'm mortal, but I've had a few times I probably should have died. So maybe I'm not mortal.
Same
You
here.
and me fucking both.
Right?
By all rights, I shouldn't even be sitting here talking right now.
Speaking about that, in the ocean, we had 2 black-tip sharks circling us out on the scuba diving spot. If you want to talk about scary, that's scary.
Did they
I was
eat you up
gonna
and
die.
spit you out?
No, they were more worried about our 3-foot-long flippers on our feet. They were
Oh,
just,
I
like,
thought you were gonna...
big circle us.
I thought you were
I
gonna
thought you
beat
were
our
seals.
stories here somehow. You know,
See, I've climbed up the side of a 280 on a rope ladder with sharks circling, and that shit was scary.
were you wearing a pound of meat on the back of your pants?
No, but I was a fat guy in a life jacket climbing up a fucking skinny ass rope ladder in rough seas.
So I thought you were a hot dog.
I was
wearing
fucking
wearing
terrified,
a
man. I'm
donut.
afraid of heights, and I'm about to fucking. If I don't go up, I'm just gonna fall down into the water, where the sharks are. It was like,
So yeah,
I was shitting my pants a little.
they saw you as a hot dog wearing a donut, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
They thought he was the Oscar Mayer fucking mascot. That big bright ass orange vest.
That's what they're doing. They're just fucking swimming around. Look at this fat fuck. I bet he tastes good.
I think they have to like swim by you and touch you with the side of their body to kind of lick you. Isn't that their tongue receptor? Don't they have?
I have no idea.
I saw that somewhere. I read it somewhere.
I've never watched Shark Week.
Yeah, I'm not too crazy about that. I mean, if it was the apocalypse and we had like a water world, like what they showed, that one movie, that would be the scariest thing ever because then there'd be sharks.
Water World.
Be sharks everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, apocalypse-wise, I've done a little bit of prepping, but I am not prepared for a water world scenario.
Hell no.
Yeah, I don't think anybody is, unless you got like a boat that's got guns ablaze.
That's
all
like
over
generations from us after the ice caps melt. Then they'll have to worry about that. Like my great grandchildren. That's their problem.
That's your problem, not mine.
Fuck them. I'm never gonna meet them.
They're gonna be like, Grandpa was a dick.
Yeah, right. This podcast is gonna be like one of the few things that remain. They're like, oh my god, I'm related to that guy. Like he was filming that podcast while he had his 42-inch TV on and his fucking AC running.
And we're here
He's the
floating in a
reason.
fucking boat.
But now, prep-wise, do any of you guys have a bug-out bag?
Yeah.
I'm not the only one, right?
Yep.
I have one put away.
But is it prepared? Like, do you have like mine's not? It's not here with me. It's in my
believe it or not.
storage.
Yeah, mine's usually
Believe it or not,
prepared.
somewhere.
I've got all kinds of stuff.
somewhere
It used
I
to
have.
be.
Like I got
I do have 25 feet of paracord and polypropylene on me at all times.
Yeah, I've got a bracelet of paracord. It's pretty good. This one's pretty long.
Did
But,
you buy it?
Yeah, I bought it.
I made mine.
Wow, snazzy.
Yeah, it's real easy, man. It is like one of the simplest knots to do, and you can bundle up 20 feet of paracord into a bracelet.
Cool.
What, just a survival bracelet?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I make those all the time. I
If
can
you,
make a double. I
yeah,
can
if
make
you
a
do
double.
Do you do the loop with the monkey's fist at the other
Yep.
end, so that way you can just tuck one into the other?
Sure do.
Yep. That's the
You
way to
can
do it.
do-
man. I have a keychain like that too.
I have
a keychain
a-
that's all polypropylene.
I have a bug out pack, military style bug out pack storage.
Me too. I got a
Um,
fucking I got a
Got
baby
an Alice
rucksack.
pack. It's got a couple of MREs. It's got a paracord. It's got everything I need.
I actually I haven't started it yet, but I have I have all the paracord and I have the old harness from my dog's old harness for her. I'm gonna make my dog a paracord harness, so that way she's useful in the apocalypse. Because my wife wants to keep her, and I told her, I'm like, shit, if it hits the fan and we gotta run, then I'm sorry, she's
I don't know
food.
who you're kidding, man. And they see a fucking zombie, they're gonna bark, and they're gonna be the first thing bit. Okay.
Yeah, not my stupid ass 12-pound lap dog. She's like, oh, friend.
That's
She-
the Chihuahua here. The
Yeah, so like that
Little
fucking
bark.
dog, I told my wife, I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, she's either food or she's gonna be carrying paracord for us. That way we have some sort of supply with us if we're keeping her.
protect us, right?
Yeah, you might as well.
yeah, we'd be better off fucking getting Jocelyn's new baby to carry that shit for us.
I will say, I do prep for the zombie apocalypse, like Walking Dead style, whatever you want. But at the same time, I agree with FEMA's lookout on it. FEMA, for a while back when Walking Dead first became popular, was actually putting out ads encouraging people to prep and prepare for the zombie apocalypse.
Because it's coming.
Not just because it's coming, but if you look at it, if you're prepared for the zombie
I have a
apocalypse,
machete
you're
somewhere.
prepared for a natural disaster.
Don't they have like
So if you have
10,000
enough preps in
coffins
your house
built?
to survive the zombie apocalypse, you're cool when a hurricane or a blizzard or a fucking earthquake hits. You're prepared. That's the way FEMA looks at it. So they were encouraging people for a while to prepare for zombies.
But hey,
Yep.
hey Zodiac, didn't they build like 10,000 coffins for that?
FEMA?
Yeah, didn't they make like tons and tons of coffins? You know, black coffins just as preparation in case there was some kind of outbreak? Or is that like the CDC? Don't they have?
Oh, I have no idea if that's a real thing.
I saw a picture of it, and it was kind of disturbing. They had like this warehouse of like thousands of coffins just lined up end to end.
I'm sure. I mean, it's kind of their job. So
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like with an apocalypse, I mean, a zombie, if it was something like a zombie, I'd be hard, you know, it'd be tough to believe that it'd be something like a supernatural zombie, because if it was supernatural, I don't think there's any way we could stop it, you know, because it would sort of be like a divine retribution type, you know, deal. I think if anything, I think if it was more like a zombie thing, it'd be more like DayZ, you know, where they get all raged up and they're, you know, adrenaline rush till they kind of pass out or whatever happens.
Now, if it turns out to be anything like Killing Floor 2, then I'm dead.
I haven't played it yet.
Man.
But like I said, though, if you're prepared for the zombie apocalypse, you're prepared for any apocalypse scenario, really.
Well, not
But I'm gonna
exactly
look at it this way.
To an
The way
extent,
it's
I
gonna
guess.
happen, the
Cross
way
out.
I see it's gonna, the way I see it's gonna happen.
Not cross out. Yeah.
Those that have seen World War Z, that Brad Pitt zombie movie.
That was a god awful movie.
Yes, it was, but that's how it's gonna happen.
the concept
It's
seems
gonna
more
get
realistic,
spread
though.
that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
what was the cause of the outbreak there? I don't remember that movie.
I don't know, but it's like a rabies like thing where you just go freaking mad.
I know
and-
it was a virus, and they were able to defeat it with a cocktail of other viruses.
Yeah, because he discovered that they wouldn't attack anybody who was already plagued with one of those viruses and doomed to die already. They
Right.
skipped them.
Whereas Walking Dead, they would still eat you.
Yep, that's how it's going to happen.
Well, I mean,
It
I
was
mean, The Walking Dead
actually-
was. It's not any different really, because The Walking Dead, like, they don't eat each other if they're already dead. They know the virus is in that other thing, so they don't attack it. So the same thing with DayZ. Like, if they know somebody has the virus, they don't attack it. They're just immune to it, you know, the effects, but they still don't attack the person.
Right, but
even though they-
DayZ, it was any any sickness that could kill you, they wouldn't attack you. Whereas Walking Dead, they just, if you're already a zombie, they won't attack you, or if you smell like a zombie, they won't attack you.
Okay. I mean, the thing is with
But
that style,
DayZ, it was they could smell that you are already sick with a disease that could kill you, and they just wouldn't attack you.
yeah, you know, the thing is, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
but
there's some
in
sick
that
bastard out there
World War
that's
Z, though,
that's,
they actually,
trying
the zombies
to.
were still intelligent.
Yeah, but I mean,
Because
like
they
with,
piled up on one on top of another until they made themselves a wall that they could climb over the guard wall.
Right. Sure.
That just shows intelligence.
yeah, there's going to
Yeah,
be
you don't
intelligence with a virus, always. I mean, even with the one little, I don't know if it's a virus. I think it's a fungus, but it can infect an insect and make it walk to the highest place possible and start to sprout. You know, for sunlight. So it can like show intelligence and stuff. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be some sick bastard that's going to want to actually create a zombie virus to infect people. I almost think there's.
Oh yeah, I guarantee you there's somebody working on that right now.
But like the zombie thing, like if you're rotting and you're deteriorating, as soon as rigor mortis starts to set in, your joints are just gonna soldier up. You know, they're gonna solder up, and they're not gonna be able to move. So it's only like a week maybe at most you could walk around before your joints look, kind of.
Rigor mortis sets in on day 2.
Yeah. So,
yeah, but it doesn't last forever.
No,
but if you
no,
have a
rigor mortis
virus,
It's a
lasts
temporary condition.
it lasts like 2 to 3 days, and then the body loosens up again.
But if you have a virus pushing your blood flow, because I even saw some videos on this before where somebody tried to make a dog's head move again by having it severed by forcing the blood through it. It, got some reactions from the head. So you could still pump the blood and still get some reactions. But with a virus in there, a virus moving the bloodstream might not be as efficient, but it could still keep the rigor mortis from setting in too soon, but it still would set in. So there'd be a certain time limit before the zombies are just literally standing stiff and they fall over.
Right. And eventually they'd get back up. But yeah, there would be that. You would think there'd be that period
A few
there
episodes
for a
of The
couple of
Walking
days.
Dead
They'd
that
just
I
be
did
fucking
watch.
rigor mortis out and all stiff.
The few episodes that I did watch of The Walking Dead, I did notice there were some bodies on the ground that when live people came around, they miraculously jumped right up. That told me they were in rigor mortis state until that point in time.
Well, the thing I love about Walking Dead, the TV show and the comics, is as the show goes on, the zombies, except for the fresh ones, like the ones they just randomly encounter, are more and more like emaciated and deteriorated. Like, I love the fact that they're actually aging the zombies.
Yeah, the rigor mortis is setting
Because they're in like
quite
year
hard.
5 of this outbreak.
Yeah. So I mean, the rigor mortis.
So
set
like
in,
half
plus,
the zombies they encounter are almost all fucking
but
just
see,
like drippy skeletons at this
you can
point.
be as prepared as you want for this, but sometime down the line, you're going to end up in the same boat as those TV characters because you're going to run out of food, you're going to run out of ammo, you're going to be up shit creek unless you get both and have to fight for it.
See, and that's what I'm missing. I have no guns. I have no ammo.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. You're right.
Well,
that's what you got to get, man. I mean, the thing is,
I
like,
live with 2 bipolar people. I don't want guns and ammunition in my house.
okay, well,
Right.
maybe that makes sense. But the thing is, like, if it came to the apocalypse,
I have a machete. I have multiple knives. I have the Kill Bill sword mounted on my wall.
Yeah, the one you keep a close eye on.
Damn right.
the thing
I'll
is,
go Michonne on fucking zombies with that shit.
we'd almost have to team up in a way, because the thing is, if you came to apocalypse, people are going to want people with real deadly skills to be on their side, and even just working with the M16 in the military and stuff, I was pretty much a crack shot with that. So an assault rifle, somebody wanted some skills like that, I'd
Let
have
me ask
that.
you this: what about like a boathouse, or like even like a military boat or something? Zombies, we don't know if zombies are gonna be able to swim. The movies don't depict them
This
swimming.
is true, but I'm
The only
not
thing
just
we
talking
have-
zombie,
They're going, okay, zombie stuff infect each other with bites.
If they're
And
if they're
whatnot.
filled with holes,
The
they
birds,
can't float.
birds and whatnot, and animals get infected by eating said zombie flesh. Am I wrong?
I don't know. It depends. Walking Dead style zombies? No. It doesn't. Animals are immune. It's only people.
Yeah, like
Okay,
viruses.
I'm
Most
talking
viruses
like
don't.
Resident Evil type scenario.
Yeah, Resident Evil style zombies.
Okay.
We
So
fucked.
say a zombie falls into the ocean, he's all bloody. What's the first thing the shark's attracted to? Blood.
Right. Then you're gonna have zombie sharks.
The sharks get infected, and then guess what?
No, I don't think it
You're
would happen
not
that
safe
way.
in the water.
See, I don't know, because
I don't think it would happen that way, because
fish,
your
just imagine
digestive system
what
would
tuna eat.
would
imagine
dissolve.
what
You could all
tuna eat.
get fish.
I know all the
We
fish
eat
eat,
them.
but look, we eat them raw. We eat sushi. There's people
Yeah,
out there who
see,
just eat plain
If
sushi
it,
by
if it
itself.
came down to it and fish was the only thing on the menu, but I'm allergic.
No, and even in
You
The
know.
Walking Dead with you remember Negan? You know they're sending the pigs to
Oh, do
Negan.
I remember Negan?
And
Yes.
they're sending the pigs to Negan, but the pigs were eating the dead. So that's how they're fattening up, and they're still alive. They're not dead from it. I mean,
Yeah,
what goes
it
in your
doesn't
stomach
affect them at all.
will dissolve. It won't taste
But
good.
the guys
but
from the kingdom get that nice screw you of being like, okay, yeah, we got to give you our pigs that we raise, but we're not feeding them good shit. We're just feeding them fucking chopped up zombie.
that was the funniest thing I've seen.
It's made out of people.
Oh man. No, but yeah, but with an apocalypse, even the crossout game I'm playing is apocalyptic, and it's just so awesome to play
Right?
because
It's like
it's
Mad
so
Maxian.
yeah, it's so Mad Max. You just slap parts on there.
That's going to be
and weld them
the
on there.
Aftermath. That's going to be the aftermath of everything.
Right?
Oh, you're gonna have that right away though, because as soon as the
Population.
law
Just
goes
give
down,
us the fuel and walk away.
you're gonna have that almost right away because people are gonna hole up and take over Walmarts for all the supplies, take over
Right?
Sam's Clubs, take over all these gigantic places, and just literally turn into Negans and just dole out whatever they want to whoever. And unless you're a part of something like that, you're going to have to be a scavenger and just roam until you find a good friendly
I've
group.
said it before. In a Walking Dead style apocalypse, fuck yeah, I would be Negan.
Have any of you seen like the Book of Eli?
I have
Denzel
not.
Washington?
I think I did, yeah.
recommend it.
I wanted
It's,
to, I never got around to it.
It's a post-apocalyptic thing, and he's holding on to the very last printed version of the Holy Bible.
I think I might have seen that.
Transport it to a new church to have more printed out from. But
See, I think that's why I didn't watch it. It looked very religious, and that's
actually,
not my bag.
it wasn't that bad. Now imagine Denzel Washington going samurai with two big-ass machetes.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to watch it.
It was actually pretty badass.
Yeah, it was just some time since
Now,
I've seen
Rod,
that.
wheels are turning in Zodiac's head, going, damn, maybe I will watch it.
I wanted to watch it, I just never got around to it. Like, it's not on Netflix, so
Right?
No, but seriously, guys,
when it
like
gets to Netflix or Amazon for free, then yeah, I'll watch it.
It was on Netflix for a little while.
guys, though,
Was it?
Yeah.
if you had a vehicle that you could weld parts onto and make it more into a tank, and most of the world's military was gone, you pretty much just roll up and just take whatever you want all the time, and
You can
nobody
even
can
use
stop
like
you.
old road signs and stuff like that. Just the
Fuck yeah.
stick, weld that onto the front of the truck. There you go. Now you got a zombie mowing. You know, but you got to think it's also hitting humans.
But people are going to do that. Though.
Fuck
Yeah,
gonna
but I
do
don't
some
care about
damage.
those humans.
They're,
I know, but
they're-
it's still going to do some damage to your truck.
unless
Unless you put like iron on the front, and things
Not
like
unless
that.
you figure how to.
You get a train
get one of
grill,
the hay
you'll be
cutters
fine.
and attach it to the fucking
Yeah,
truck.
there.
Cow
On the
catcher.
fucking lawn.
Oh, could you? A train grill would be awesome.
I always wanted that, man. Fucking when I had my my Grand Cherokee, I always wanted a fucking train catcher, fucking cow catcher grill on the front.
Yeah. No, I thought when I played Twisted Metal Black that Dark Side was just the coolest semi-cab ever, because instead of a regular grill, it had a cop car chained to the front of it as its grill.
Yeah, I remember that.
so it rammed people with a battered used cop car.
See, Twisted Metal, I was always an Axle or a Ghost guy.
I mean, Spectre?
Spectre, yeah, not Ghost.
Yeah, I played
know
as
what I
that. I played as Spectre either Spectre or Dark Side. Those are my two favorites. But
I always played as the clown.
Sweet Tooth?
Yeah.
Yep, I always liked. Well, it was Spectre, Axle, and
Well, Sweet
What was
Tooth's
the
story
military
and the whole
Warthog?
storyline of it,
Warthog.
His story was like the darkest out of all of them.
Sweet Tooth? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet Tooth was
Yeah.
a serial killer, and he even got worse in Black. In Black, it was insane how
I
cursed
never
he
played
was.
Black. I think
Black-
3 was as far as.
The quote from Black that he says at the end is one of the best. You know, when he says, or how does the quote go? Oh yeah, and
Crickets.
that boys and girls is what? No, I can't even remember the quote right. I know this is why I still believe in yeah, it's why I still believe in curses. I can't even remember the quote right now, but it's one of the coolest ones if you actually look it up. But it's so he's got such a dark character to him because he in Black he finds out how he can take away the curse because in Black he's cursed with flames on his head, so he's always it's like he's a perpetual hell. His head is constantly on fire.
Right. Which
So-
makes sense.
So he goes to Calypso, which later on you find out Calypso is pretty much the devil. And he goes to Calypso, and Calypso tells him how he can take away the flames. And Calypso says, if you take this pill or whatever to, take this away, but if you ever go back to your killing ways, the fire, the curse will come back.
Was it
And-
in regards to him being captured?
And so he still kills Calypso in the end. He's like, it took me all the 10 seconds to decide.
Hey, Trigger, was it in regards to him being captured?
Him being cursed. No, Calypso grants a wish to everybody at the end when they win, but it's always twisted. Calypso
Yep.
always changes the outcome. So you kind of get what you want, but then you don't, or it's in a bad situation. Yeah, that's a really dark game, though. I mean, that's this Crossout game that I'm playing now on a PlayStation that I'm doing some live streaming of. It's pretty cool. It's almost reminiscent of it. It's more like a tank game in the way that you move around your turrets and stuff, but it kind of feels like that.
Something to the effect of, let's face it, boys and girls, the man has his priorities. I killed Calypso, got his blood, killed anyone.
Yeah.
I don't know. You cut out for me.
Well, he says something like, and
Now I'm free. I'm going to the greatest of all time.
I still
Going to
believe
be the
in.
greatest of all time.
No, he says I sure as hell believe in curses now, boys and girls. Something like that. But yeah, if you win with him, he just goes back to being a serial killer. Like he gets
Makes sense.
he gets his wish, but he's the only one that actually kills Calypso.
I'm looking at all the quotes from Sweet Tooth and nothing about curses.
Well, if you play
There's
the
a lot
game
of
and
Sweet Tooth quotes, though.
if you play the game and you beat it, you're gonna see it. I don't think they're gonna put up all the ones.
Probably.
Well,
That-
either
that-
way.
That's a pretty dark quote, though. No, I think curses can be real.
But yeah, so as far as preps go, though, I don't want to get into curses.
Man, zombie apocalypse.
We're talking
Not
about
even
the
just zombie,
apocalypse.
just regular apocalypse. Like, fucking. If the world were to end, like, tomorrow,
We
I'd be
all
kind of
need to-
fucked because
We
all
all
my
need to
prep
get down
stuff
to
was
West
a
Coast
solid
Custom
hour
and
away.
build us a fucking apocalypse mobile.
The Batmobile.
Well, that's what I was working towards with my Jeep till I had to fucking park it in the woods and mice ate it.
Well, I mean, you can. I mean, road signs.
Ah,
that's-
the Jeep's gone. I gave it away.
That's interesting. You could try to. I mean, that would be really thin armor, though. You'd have to basically, like, even in the Crossout game, I found cargo doors. The big cargo box, the ship cargo box doors.
Yep.
And I welded them onto the side of my truck. So, I mean, that's insane amount of steel.
Oh,
right
yeah.
there. I mean, something like that. I mean, you could make a tank out of just something like that.
You also got to think about the survivors that are going to go rogue because there's no government either.
Well,
That are
Oh
gonna
yeah, our
shoot.
country has so many people that are like really prepped for this shit. Did you guys ever watch Doomsday Preppers?
Yeah.
I've seen some of that.
Oh my god, I love that show. Like, some of those people like have my dream home. The
Did you
ones
see
who
the
made their
majority of
entire
people
house
are
out
just
of
fucking
buried
flat out
shipping
overkill
containers,
and
like
nuts.
those big ass Connex boxes, like Trigger was just talking about.
Yeah.
Those big steel boxes. Like, there were people who made their entire homes out of those things, buried underground and above ground, and they just fucking cut holes in them and put in staircases and ladders and doors where they needed to, and it was just fucking solid steel after solid steel after solid steel. Like, that's
Well, you
fucking
can still-
that's how to do it.
Yeah, and you could. One person actually bought a missile base, an old used up.
I've seen that. I saw that
Secret-
one too.
Yeah, and he's like renting it out to a whole bunch of people, so he's gonna make his own colony underground.
Yeah,
Yes.
he took this big ass fucking missile silo and he just built apartment after apartment after apartment.
It's
Common
like,
areas.
what is
fucking
it?
Grocery
What did it rent out to?
stores,
Like $1 million an apartment?
It was something insane, yeah. Like,
was
only
just-
rich people were gonna fucking survive there.
And you know what sucks is that's probably going to be the thing. I saw this other movie too that had Daryl from The Walking Dead in it, and he was with another guy, and they were just kind of like reviving themselves every so many years.
Oxygen or air,
I think it might have been that one.
something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I
think
didn't
that
see
was
it, but I saw the
Holding-
previews.
I remember
Yeah.
the shipping containers one. They
And-
actually
and-
had an air refinery. This piece goes up through, up to the seal, like up into the air from underneath, and it pulls like fresh air into. And then they have another one that recycles like used air and pulls in carbon dioxide. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
they were recycling their air, and
But that's the
fucking,
thing,
they were
they're gonna-
also using the pig shit and all that stuff to make their own methane. So they were cooking with their own processed shit combined with the livestock shit.
But look at that, how that's going to be for the rich people to get those
That's brilliant.
really prepped out, you know, really made to work places that they could survive for a really long time. And
Oh,
even
yeah.
in that movie Air, like if somebody like Daryl, you know, that's not his name, but Norman Reedus, he had to leave his family behind to be one of these people here. And he always regretted that for like the longest time. And that was like a part of the movie. Like, he had to leave his whole family behind. And it was kind of a dick move on him, but he did it to survive, you know, with all these other people too.
Right.
And it's scary, sad how people will just quickly turn on their family members and everything like that just to survive. You know, and you see that, you think about it. You know, it's more like going to be for the richest people. They're going to try to find places to survive. I mean, there's people that bought islands that are retrofitted to survive a zombie apocalypse. They're like castle walls everywhere and, you know, bunkers.
Well, that's like my dream home is like the middle of nowhere in the woods. Like, I want to have walls
Privacy.
and fences and privacy. Yeah, exactly. I want to be
Where
away from
my-
the masses.
my dream house is out in the boonies, basically, where my
Yep.
nearest neighbor is 10 miles away, and I have all that land up to his property line.
I don't even need that much land. I just
Well,
need.
I'm a big hunter, so I mean, I gotta have some land.
Yeah, I've honestly never hunted. Yeah, I've read a lot about it.
Dude, well, there's reading about it and watching it is not anywhere compared to actually going out there and killing something. Like,
Right, exactly.
when I
I've
shot
done it a
my
couple
first deer,
times,
I
but-
swear to God, my hands have never shaken so much.
Oh,
You know.
I'm sure.
Whenever
I'm
you
just
got
saying,
those
like
crosshairs, right?
prep wise, I've read a lot about it. I don't know anybody who hunts, so I've never been hunting.
But let me tell you, gutting the deer is not my favorite part. Fuck that.
That shit. That
But
shit
it's
looks
so
gross.
much. It's so worth it though.
Did you get a clean shot, or did you have to go knife it too?
Oh, no, I got a clean shot. It hit the back of the lungs and grazed the top of the stomach. Just grazed this little thing, but it was so full of corn and like of corn and grass and stuff, and it just started pouring out of that hole.
Ugh.
Corn.
So I had it. Yep. We have a
Listen.
cornfield on the property.
Oh, well, I guess that's the case.
Live in Missouri, so I mean,
Yeah.
it's just nice and old corn, and they go in and they eat like the stalks and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing too. Like, we're talking about the prepping for the apocalypse. No, that was something that we could talk about. And I think with prepping for the apocalypse, it's not so much like where are you going to go, who are you going to know. It's what skills do you have? Because if you don't have the skills, people are going to go, yeah, but this guy's like super good at going out and tracking deer and hunting them down. This guy's really good at fixing shit. I mean, you got to like get some kind of skill, maybe organization skills, maybe shooting skills, maybe logistics. I don't know, but it's like you got to have some kind of skills. I'm pretty accurate with bow, guns, swords. I've done medieval sword play, things like that. I'd be probably more of one of the frontliners, if anything. Like I don't see myself picking berries and harvesting crops. I don't think that's my talent.
Weaving shirts on a loom.
I don't think that. It's like, what kind of skill do you want to have for an apocalypse? Because that's really where it's going to come down to, like your worth, your value. People are gonna, because you're gonna want.
That's where us military guys fit in. We have leadership skills.
I think a good one would be charisma, to have a good charismatic self, because you need to convince people that, hey, we have this giant area, we'd love to help you, but you got to be able to do this, and this,
Right.
That people just to recruit, so you have this nice little town.
Yeah,
That
that's
would
why
be my
Zodiac wants to
charisma.
be Negan, so he can be in charge and he doesn't have to do shit.
That's where I fit in. I have leadership skills. I don't have much else going for me.
So you just get a fucking baseball bat and you'd be fine.
Yeah, like I said, Kill Bill sword, man. That shit's going over my back, and I'm just gonna run shit from then on.
Mm-hmm. You gonna throw people into a furnace? I guess
Got my
that
fucking
one.
Haitaki Hanzo sword. One of the last ones ever made.
You go out there to slice up things,
Question,
Wow.
Rob, is that full tang?
No, it's not. It's a replica. it's gonna be no good in a real scenario. I do have multiple machetes though, because I am a machete connoisseur.
Is it high carbon steel though?
I have a machete that's cold steel somewhere.
I have
Yeah,
no
I've got-
idea what this sword's made of. It's just for show. It's an exact replica of the one from the movie.
Okay, Zodiac, you can borrow one of my swords. I have high carbon steel swords, so they don't break under any pressure.
Yeah. I don't have real swords. This is the only sword that I own.
I used to have a collection. The ex-wife ended up.
But like I
Mhm.
said, multiple machetes. I'm okay. That's all you really need is a lot of machetes.
Or a
If you
baseball
really
bat.
think about it.
Yeah, some
Yeah,
of the
exactly.
stuff.
Or
Louisville
something,
Slugger
or
wrapped in-
just something to keep the distance from you, and something that's trying to attack you.
Right.
Even a stick with a sharpened point would be fine. If you don't have those materials, just
that's-
break you off a limb.
In my bug out
always-
bag is
they
a
always-
printed out
every-
list of like just directions, just things that I've found online that would be helpful, like how to make
Every
snares, how to build
zombie
shelter
movie.
out of sticks and leaves and whatnot. Just
Yeah.
Mhm.
basic survivalist things. I've printed off the how-tos, so I have like the Bible of how to survive in the wilderness printed out.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. Like,
Because
you
I mean,
gotta
I just assume when the shit hits the fan, I'm not gonna have internet access, so I'm not gonna be able to Google that shit.
Nope. That's why a lot of times if I go driving someplace, I usually print it out before I even look at a map or even use my phone
see, I don't do
because
that.
I figure
most zombie movies and shows that I've seen, it's puncture their head or take the damn head off. One of the two.
yeah,
Right,
I
but
think,
we're not just talking strictly zombie apocalypse. We're just talking end of the world scenario, like even
Yeah,
a major
prepping.
natural disaster that fucks things up, and you got to survive for a while on your
Well,
own. without
anything
the
like the
government.
one in the movie Knowing with Nick Cage.
any
where
apocalypse.
a giant solar flare hits the earth. Nothing's
Yep.
going to survive that.
Well,
That's another
mean-
big one that people worry about is the solar flares and EMP.
EMPs would literally send us dark age. A lot of people think this is sounding super dark, but the fact is it kind of is, because the reason we don't fight each other too much here, like in the United States and things like that, is because we have the police to kind of protect us to some degree. We have the military
Yeah.
to kind of protect our borders. If we don't have that, then it's open season. It's rabbit season. It's duck season. It's rabbit season. It's gonna be like that because
Wedding
mean-
season.
I mean, aren't they? Isn't there like aren't they killing a lot of people in South America? Or, not South America, South Africa. Aren't there a lot of people being killed
No,
off? A
both
lot
are
of
right.
farmers. A lot of farmers being killed in South Africa. I've seen some stuff about that.
Well, because people want that land to build.
Isn't there like a culture war there with the old British colonists versus the African
Yeah, that's South Africa.
natives? Aren't they killing each other? Aren't
It's
they
so-
killing?
South African Civil War imminent as Zulu could seize land. So yeah, they're trying to seize the land from farmer owners, or well, farmers.
Yeah, I saw some stuff where they're just outright killing the colonists. Well, I would say the British colonists, but I mean they lived there for such a long time. I mean that's their land from whenever, but I mean stuff like that still happens. I mean we're still gonna have people killing each other all over the world in all kinds of places, and a lot of the times we don't see it.
and
we
with
don't,
the absence of law, people are just gonna go crazy.
Yeah, because you're going to have those people that are going to be like, well, nobody's here to say no. Why
Look at
can't
our
I?
history, man. Like, man is
So
a
it's
combative
Zuma.
animal.
Yeah,
Zuma, I guess, I don't know what he is. I don't know if it's the president or the general of armed forces or anything, but he's after his critics, like the people who criticize him, and farmers for the land. Like, so he can't take any shit and take their land without people being like, hey, you know. It's also a racist kind of thing, even though they're all African, you know.
Different tribes.
Yeah.
yeah. So they're killing.
Well,
off.
I feel like a lot of that is because the colonists are keeping them down.
Are they?
Oh, not only that, it's making their
I
own
gotta think.
content too.
The colonists are fucking rich.
I know, and
Everybody else is-
attacking the colonists is making South Africa's government poor because they're attacking the colonists who refuse
Control
to pay.
their government.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really. I've only just heard about this recently. I didn't really know much about it, but.
Oh, it's been
I mean,
ongoing for decades.
But the thing is, you don't hear that on the news. I mean, you don't.
No, you
have
don't.
to look. You have to look for this stuff. Otherwise, if you're in America, you're only going to hear strictly stuff about
Bits
President
and
Trump.
pieces of it.
That's it.
Right.
I don't hear.
That's
I don't
all
hear
we hear about is
anything
Trump
else.
and Russia.
Oh, you mean
Trump. Russia.
You mean our
Trump.
45th president? the
That's it.
creamsicle.
I'm just saying. Yeah, but
Creamsicle.
they-
Orange on the
Yeah.
outside, white on the inside.
Yep.
Soft and white on the inside.
but the thing is, like for our politics, we're only going to talk about what we want to talk about as far as
Defiant.
what's going to apply
Right. We
to
don't want to
us.
look at other
Yeah.
people's problems. But
Yeah,
to
And
an
that's-
extent, I agree with that. It's
it's
not our
it's kind of
problem.
sad, but it's kind of to the point that like you can't.
I fully agree with that because the last few wars we've been in, we had no fucking business over there.
No, exactly.
Okay, that's
What was-
just the
what was
U.S.
the last
Big
war that
Brother,
was a
and we're
real
sticking our
issue of
nose where
ours?
We don't belong. Therefore,
World War?
that's making us what? The most hated country in the world.
What if we would have let the World War II go? What if we would have just let Germany take over all of France, all of England? Because they could have definitely.
Well, see, the thing about
I
World
think
War
that's a
II
man in the high
hold on.
tower situation.
Hold on a minute. The thing about
I'm just
World
saying,
War II,
what would
we
happen
were-
if we
were
weren't
gonna
there?
Let that go. We were going to let World War II go. Japanese came over and fucked that situation up for us by bombing
Yep.
Pearl Harbor. So then we were.
That's
forced to-
exactly what happened too, and that's the same thing that happened with
That's
with
when Teddy
Al-Qaeda.
Roosevelt said, "Oh,
9/11.
bullshit.
And you know what
We're
my
in
grandpa
it
said?
now."
You know
we
what my
weren't
grandpa
sticking our
told me?
noses in, and then they made that shit our business by bringing the war to us.
Just imagine what Japan said, or what Germany said when Japan did that. Are you fucking stupid?
Right.
What are you
Yeah.
thinking?
Do you
Them
know
bitches
that?
are crazy.
I heard.
Can't
I
go
heard
over
that,
there.
I heard that they ballooned bombs over to California. They were trying to float the bombs over that way. Did you hear about that? Was there?
Yeah, and some of them are still being uncovered to this very day.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, even my grandpa told me that he was a part of the code, one of the coders that sent the message to drop the bomb. On
Oh, coat talkers.
yeah, was it Hiroshima? I think he was one of the people
Yeah.
that sent the codes.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
They were called. I believe they were called the wind talkers.
No, that was different.
Oh, that was not.
No, that was for decoding and sending secret codes.
Yeah.
That was using a different
that
Indian
was still
language.
World War II.
Same
So
war,
there was-
different thing.
So
Morse code.
Germany also took it
Morse,
a step further
MORSE.
and sent a message from Germany to Mexico saying, "Hey, you're closer than us. Will you go up and attack America since they're in the war now after Pearl Harbor?" And Mexico's like, "Nope, no, thank you. We're out of this.
Nah, man,
We're not
Nah,
that
bitch.
stuff.
Sit back and relax.
Siesta time.
We'll hear all
Be
these
back later,
farmers
bitch.
running up,
We're gonna
running
be
up to
down
the
here
border."
drinking out there, Res. Yep.
They have enough
All these
cartels to
farmers
worry
running up
about
to the border.
in South America to worry about that I don't think any of that shit's gonna come to play.
I thought the
There's-
cartel would be like, "Yeah, man, let's go attack them. One against
Yeah, right.
10,000. Let's go."
They're getting money off the American public though through the secret
Exactly.
black market.
And
trade, so-
we also
No,
kept their
no, no,
economy
no. See,
alive too
The
during World War
next,
II.
the next huge war that involves the world, World War III, isn't going to be like World War I or World War II. That were supposed to be the wars to end all wars. No, World War III will be the war to end all wars because everybody's going to deploy nukes. It's done.
Yeah, exactly. It's just going to be nukes from long range.
Yep.
Well,
Because
Trump just
of our
shot the
government.
first Moab, which is kind of funny because you know when I heard Moab was launched, I'm like, wait, he's playing Call of Duty? What?
Right.
What is going on here? You know,
I don't know why he called it the mother of all bombs if it had no nuclear capability.
because
Okay.
that's against the Geneva Convention.
Well, Moab is also an off-road course.
Okay, but I'm saying
I
like
forget where
nuclear,
it is. I think it's New Mexico.
nuclear bombs are against the Geneva Convention, isn't it?
Yes, they are.
Pretty
Yes,
sure it is.
everybody still has. them.
Biological weapons and nuclear bombs.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any chemical, biological, or nuclear
CBDR.
devices.
Yeah. I mean, even like
Do you guys
the
know
game,
flamethrowers are against the Geneva Convention too?
I think
Yes.
they are now.
Because that is
Napalm.
quite the
Napalm.
torturous death.
It's
Yeah,
only
napalm.
napalm. If you
Yeah, and the worst thing about that is you can make it at home.
Styrofoam and kerosene.
That's
Don't tell
one way,
everybody how to
but,
do it, man.
Yeah, I'm not
Gosh.
saying,
We're gonna have everybody like listening. How do we do all this stuff? Let's listen to these guys.
What is that
not
not common knowledge?
Not
All they have
everybody.
to do is get a hold of the Anarchist Cookbook. They have it all right there.
I'm sorry, I thought that was. Am I the only motherfucker that Googles this shit?
I'm just saying for the show, for the viewers. Let's not try to prep
Don't
them
try
to be
this at
something
home.
they're not.
No.
I'm not saying try this at home.
I agree. I'm just saying, just the thought itself is enough.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
be
but
educated,
I
because you know what? When the shit hits the fan, by
Yeah,
God, do
remember
I ever
the
want to know how to
the
make
old days.
napalm?
And I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Trigger and Zodiac will back me up on this. In the old days, they didn't have to tell us, don't try this at home, because we weren't a bunch of dumb dipshits.
Right?
Well, anytime someone says don't try this at home, everybody still does. And they keep trying it
Yep.
over and over again. Like I've I did some swordplay videos before, and I put don't try this at home. But it's not to say nobody's not going to. I don't know.
I don't need to hear about your gay porn days.
Wow.
Sorry, wrong kind of swordplay.
Wait, whoa.
Yeah,
took off-
not
I
the same.
I took
You wish, Zodiac.
I took off my headset for a quick second to rub my ears and stuff. Like,
You've been
I put it on
looking
and
for
off
this
that
kind of
manual.
video for the longest time, but I'm not.
Man, I showed
not doing that.
Brandon that video.
Why do you think I want to come visit you, man?
oh yeah, Dad showed me this video of freaking Brad.
We'll have a
Right,
gay
I
old
showed
time.
Brandon that video, and he
Oh my
looked
God!
at
Did you
me
show
like,
him the fucking fatty cluck?
Oh,
Fatty Club.
You're disgusting.
That's yeah.
that is
Which
just
for our
way.
listeners, that is linked on our homepage.
He's proud of that
if you want to
video.
watch one of our own.
It's at thecrowshow.pinecast.co.
He's proud of that video.
Find
I couldn't tell if he was having a bad day or if that was a joke, but he's like, I don't remember. If BC was here, he would explain it better. But it's like it was a comedy act for him. But then anytime
It
he
was a
talks
vine,
about it,
yeah.
he said that they played it on his PR at his work for everybody
Yeah,
to
they
hear.
played it over the PA system at his work.
The
one day.
the PA system. And he didn't sound too happy about that.
I wonder how happy he was having it thrown out to the whole damn plan.
I know, right? I totally did that last week.
Where did you find that?
You did a
It's
fatty
on his
cluck last week?
YouTube. Like,
Oh
he
my
hasn't
God.
taken it down. He can't care that much.
Yeah.
It's still up
He
there.
can't get that bad then because he
I
didn't
don't
take
think
it
he's very-
down.
I don't think he's very happy at all because he didn't even fucking respond to tonight.
Oh, I know, right?
Shut up.
I haven't talked to Brad since I put that shit on the homepage. Like it's on our podcast homepage.
Yeah,
I
he's
have
our
the link.
BC's our mascot. He can be a good guy sometimes. Sometimes he can be an ass. Depends on what day you see him. But
Shit, that's any
Oh,
one
that
of
could
those
be anybody.
Then he says
Tell you
some
right
ass
now,
shit
you guys
sometimes,
want
too.
you got yesterday. If we done the show
What?
yesterday, it would have been all negative.
Man,
No.
that was me a few days ago.
no, he had the audacity to come on a few nights ago and say, hey, when are you going to waste your gas again and come out and drive my way and see me? I'm like, fucker, jeez. Oh, okay, so you don't want me to come out to see you. And he's like, he just started laughing. Oh, man. That kind of set me off. I'm like, okay, so you didn't actually want me to come out to see you. You just wanted me to waste my gas to come out and visit you.
You're good. File a
Every time
hurt
I
feelings
mention I'm
report. It
going
was
down
a
to
joke.
PA for something, he's like, fucker, you need to tell me this shit ahead of time. You can come over my pad. I'm like, okay.
That's a lot of gas to drive out to Pennsylvania when I'm just going back to Wisconsin.
I'm 20 minutes from the border. Literally.
No,
Yeah, if
Dad,
you guys-
we're in New York. We're not in Texas.
Wrong border, son. I'm 20 minutes from PA state line.
There you
Yeah, but-
go.
I'm just saying, like, if you're driving from Florida back to Wisconsin, driving from Florida to the East Coast instead of going to Wisconsin is a totally different trip with a lot of extra
Oh
miles.
yeah, cutting through and going over to the
makes
East
for a
Coast to go
long
to Pennsylvania
fucking
is
trip, too.
a big detour.
Yeah.
That makes for a hell of a long trip.
Oh, so I'm just sitting here thinking of what we were talking about earlier, Rob. So, have you ever been down to the Keys?
Florida Keys?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been there
Have
too.
you ever seen the blimp called Fat Albert?
I've seen Fat Albert blimp.
Have you seen the blimp down
No,
there?
I don't think so.
That blimp circles the air. It just flies around all the Keys, and it has a telescope on there that can, from the 20 miles off the coast of Costa Rica, it can read the labels off the chip bag, like a Ruffles chip bag. It can read the ingredients.
Damn.
Wow.
So they fly that around and watch for people coming over the ocean.
Oh, see, that was my job. I used to we used to patrol back and forth between Key West and Cuba.
Nice.
That was my 3.5 years of seagoing experience.
30-foot lead.
And the Coast Guard was
I mean, it's
protect
only
the
90
border
miles.
from all these Cubans.
I mean, it's only 90 miles from Key West.
Yeah, the southernmost point of Key West to Cuba is only 90 miles.
90 miles, yep. And I've been to that little point.
Me too.
It's
I have a
cool.
picture of me and all my buddies there.
And I've gotten a picture with mile marker 0 the day before it got stolen for the 98th time.
Oh man, yeah.
So what's going to happen with the military when there is an apocalypse? There's no military command anymore. Let's say the president of the United States. Because here's the thing,
Honestly,
like,
I think a
the-
real apocalypse will handle that shit. When martial law is going to be employed, I don't think our military is going to be taken out as easily as all the movies make it seem.
well, the thing is, like, there's been some. If there's conjecture, the only real big armies that could contest this is China or Russia. But if we had to fight Russia, we would probably lose about half of our military combatants. If we had to, you know.
Yeah,
but
you're
then,
not counting on the veterans.
Yeah, but then you got guys like us that are definitely willing to re-up and they'll let us back in.
oh yeah, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, the veterans, the people that
and
have
the
been
new people.
disabled for a
Veterans
while.
are willing to step up to the plate on top of that. And there's hundreds of thousands of veterans
Yeah.
that will have no
I honestly think
thought
we'd be
about
okay.
picking up arms and going to
The only
battle.
the only thing we'd have to worry about is the fact that Russia would probably come through Canada, because they need to land somewhere where they could amass a certain amount of troops to attack us. Canada would
There's
be
gonna
the
be a
easiest
red
Right,
zone.
and
land.
Sarah
Or,
Palin could see
nope.
Russia from her
It's
backyard
gonna
in
be
Alaska.
fucking red
So.
dawn scenario. That's how that shit's gonna happen.
I mean,
Right.
I don't see Cuba coming to attack us. That was just fucking ridiculous. You know, having Cuba. What kind of fucking
The
army are
original,
they going to
I
have?
believe it was Russians with the Cubans coming in.
Sure, but the Cubans
Yeah,
are so
Cuba doesn't-
freaking
We sure know.
tiny.
We know Mexicans are going to come up and attack us.
That's laughable. The only thing
Oh, but
is
they
with
got
Ghosts,
Big Brother
they
Russia
had
coming with. They're
with
gonna get
Ghosts,
some
they
big
had-
hairy cojones real quick.
No, I'm just saying, like, with Ghost, they had, what was it, Argentina and Russia, or was it just all South America that just took over North
South
America?
America, period.
Yeah, that was a bit ridiculous because I just, sorry, I
Breaking
just
open
don't
the
see,
goober.
I just don't see them being able to do all that. I don't think they have as high tech as we think. I mean, I've been to Brazil. It's not that high tech. Yeah, I saw cops with Tommy guns driving around. So I don't think they
But
have.
today's day and age, if Japan decided to strike us that way, we'd
So-
be screwed.
So my Spanish teacher lived in Paraguay for 5 years. And she was saying how their cops, they'd pull you over no matter what offense you have. If you get pulled over, pull out $10 from your wallet and say, "Here, I know I was speeding. Here's $10. I gotta get home." And I'll be like, "All right, have a nice day." But they all have free Wi-Fi down there. no matter where they live.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That must be
Well,
some
when
shitty
I was
internet, man.
when I was in Brazil, you had to pay for Wi-Fi no matter where you went. It was freaking ridiculous. The only thing I had that worked was GPS, but I had to get it to work at my hotel before I left the hotel. And then if I turned my phone off, GPS would be off. It was almost scary because the roads are made like spaghetti strings. They just kind of curl around and circle this way, that way, and you
People
don't know
go
where the hell
900
you're-
miles an hour down them.
Yeah, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
can end up in the favela in a blink of an eye. And
All right, what is it with Hispanic countries and driving insanely fast everywhere?
No one stops you. It's like,
I drove in Puerto Rico once, and
Because
My
people can
God.
pay off the cops.
yeah, bribery does work.
I guess that must be it. Because
Oh, you were
That
going
shit was-
90 miles over the speed limit. You're gonna have this huge ticket. Here's $50. I'm sorry, officer. I gotta get home. All right. I'll let you off with a warning this time, and I'll take that. Put it in my pocket. Have a nice day.
yeah,
You know.
speaking
Yeah.
of traffic violations, I was telling my son the other day when I lived back in California, I got pulled over. I was doing 15, 20 miles per hour over. Got pulled up. Actually, I watched him in my rearview mirror because he was driving by me. Flipped a U-turn. Pulled me over. Sat there and said, I got to write you a ticket. And I said, well, you're at it. You might as well write yourself one, officer. And he's like, what for? I said, well, that illegal U-turn you busted back there for one. And two, you got a headlight out. He looked back at his car and he's like, I'll let you off with a warning this time. Yeah.
They have to,
Man.
because if they break the law, then what gives you the right not to break the law, you know? They're the peacekeepers.
How did he
Kind
not
of.
have a light on though? I mean, they
I don't know.
have the
If I was
latest.
a cop, yeah, I would channel my inner Stallone. Y'all know what I'm going for.
Break it up.
the law.
Judge Dredd.
I am the law.
Going Judge Dredd.
You
Man,
know it,
somebody's
man.
just cracking them open, aren't they? One by one.
The last one wasn't me, but this one was.
Oh man. Oh, have you seen the new Judge Dredd they had out?
I like
Yeah, I
it.
saw that.
I think that was better done than the Stallone one.
It was better done, but Stallone is the OG Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah,
gotta
given
respect
that.
that one. That was a
You
good
gotta
version
respect
for its
the
time.
Yeah, you gotta like. Stallone really makes a lot of
But
movies.
that
Even the
last
Expendables.
one,
I will say the last one is my favorite because the
in
last Judge Dredd
Stallone's, you
is
see-
Judge Dredd. Like that is comic book Dredd.
In Stallone's
Mm-hmm.
version, you see his full face. In that last one, you never see that dude's full face.
I don't think they
Right,
ever do.
and that's how Dredd is. In the comics, you never see Dredd's full face. He never takes it off.
But that's apocalyptic too, because that's what we would probably come down to. If,
It is.
If the military was intact and the government was
That
gone,
is martial law intact for a long time.
That would be the scenario where I'm hauling ass to get somewhere, get pulled over. You were speeding 20 miles an hour over the speed limit. Your sentence is death.
Right?
You know?
No, but I mean, here's the thing. I've been even looking at the Spartans from a long time ago, and they had, their military civilization where most of the men would want to go out and become soldiers to live and die for their country. They died for their state, and the women would try to be strong women and, give birth to strong men and stuff. But if you weren't a soldier,
Yep.
you became one of the sort of free men or whatever, but you're kind of a farmer, worker, or whatever. And then they had another
Or
kind
a
of,
politician.
or a politician, or some kind of slave, indentured servant, or whatever. But there were certain kinds of people that, after they graduated the military course, they became sort of like the SS in a way, where they would bully the free people and sometimes kill some of them that were being overruly, that were out of line. So
Case in
they sort
point,
of became
300.
little Judge
Done.
Dredds in Sparta. And they became like little mini Judge Dredds. They just go out and dole out judgment, to whoever.
Yeah, but those little
they-
mini Judge Dredds were fucking ripped too.
See,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Oh.
But
I
I mean,
don't
we're
know what nation
it's-
today could take on 1,000 nations the way they did in that movie 300. There's nobody. There's
That
no
actually
force
happened though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was
No
real.
force could
Yeah,
stand.
they took formation on a little cliffside as the Persians were coming in, and 300 of them killed 10,000 Persians because they
And
were
there
more
is no
trained in fighting and
It
protecting
didn't
themselves.
look like it did in the
as
movie.
the
But in
Persians were.
today's world, there is no force that could actually physically do that to that extent anymore.
No, because the technology they had at the time was just bows and arrows for ranged, and that was it. Otherwise, it was hand-to-hand combat. I mean, now, if we went to war, it would pretty much just determine how much defensive capabilities we have with shooting down missiles for America versus Russia. If we have more ability to shoot down their incoming missiles than they do, then they lose. Because
Yep.
we'll be able to get our
Right.
long range off, and we'll defend from their long range. Simple, end of story. There's nothing more to it. The only other
And
thing
all
is if
all of those bombs or missiles are also computerized and controlled from the main headquarters too. You got to think about that too. So
Yeah.
if we could even EMP them or maybe even hack them, which is kind of a stretch, you could win too.
our
Well,
government
we have
hacks all
super
kinds of
lasers.
shit.
We have lasers that are capable of targeting and exploding ordnance before it hits us.
See, the
Yeah.
only bad thing about lasers, all you need is a mirror. And
I know,
warfare, like if you're going to use a laser, all you need is a mirror to reflect it back. You know.
You take one smart ass motherfucker to chrome a missile and
Yeah, but they're hand guiding that technology. I've already seen that with planes when I was reading Popular Mechanics too. That they have the laser in the nose of the plane as a Star Wars defense to shoot an actual laser beam at a plane. They can just like hand guide that stuff if it's not working right, and just point the heat beam at it and melts the shit out of it and blows up. I mean, it's done. I mean,
I'm
so
just talking.
like
We have actual lasers that are built for taking out ordnance
Oh,
like
I'm
that.
just thinking maybe they should dismantle all these bombs, nuclear plutonium, to better use, like energy.
Right?
sure,
All
it's just
those-
it's
All those things would power.
Yeah, you see,
That's
for
a
the
problem,
next
though. It's been a
10,000
people are afraid.
weaponry.
People are afraid because of one meltdown that caused the whole city to be radioactive because it wasn't well kept. Nobody cared about that
Yeah,
nuclear
Chernobyl.
Right.
generator. Yeah,
Yeah.
Chernobyl is a complete radiated city that nobody can go in unless you have a lead suit on because they didn't take the proper care of their nuclear power plant. Now, if we, like, people have power plants where you can come in, pick up a chunk of dirt off the ground, throw it into a machine. Oh, there's 10,000 power, or enough power to power a whole city from this handful of dirt. Yeah, we don't want to take it, and we want to keep using this fossil fuel crap.
Yeah.
Keep pumping it out, or even putting like
Yeah, but like I was saying,
hydro generators on the Mississippi River.
all these missiles we have built with all that plutonium and nuclear items in there could power this world for the next 10,000 years easily.
Well, you got to think. Look, that's even the same reason why we prep for the apocalypse. People are combative by nature. That's the whole reason we even
Yeah,
have
see,
nukes at this point,
It's
because it's
not-
been escalating since
it's not
the
the
Dark Age,
average
since the
person.
beginning of time.
Right, really.
We've been fighting each other, and we've been improving our weaponry.
Yeah, but I look at
Mhm.
it this way. Here, you got to really think about this. The average Joe Blow in today's world really doesn't have a problem with different cultures and races and whatnot. Am I wrong?
No.
It's the fucking leaders that get into an argument and say, well, I'm going to bomb you. No, I'm going to bomb you. The average Joe pays for that.
Yeah, but the average Joe in a position, animal nature, it's built into us. We're combative. There's never going to be world peace because it's built into us to hate each other and fight people.
Well, that's why they want to genetically re-engineer us. There's people out there trying to change our genes to re-engineer us into sort of a super kind of person. Like they can. There's people that want to make engineered babies.
It's not all hardwired into us. It's taught to us. Because you take little kids, 2, 3, and 4 years old, different races, different cultures, they're all going to play together like they're best friends forever.
Yeah.
But take them and separate them and teach them to hate the other culture and put them back in the same room, they're going to fight.
I'm not even talking about hating other cultures or racism. I'm just talking about, like, shit. If me, you, and Trigger and Brandon were all in one room for an extended amount of time, eventually one of us is going to fight somebody else. It's going to happen. It's built into our nature. You're eventually going to hit that point.
That's like whenever you and your brothers fight, because you're always around each other.
Right.
You get into a disagreement, you get into a nice little fight, and after that's over, the next day you're like, all right, I feel better. I
grew up with 3 brothers. I know just what you're talking about.
Oh, I got my little asshole brother.
The thing is, guys are going to fight for supremacy to see who's the sort of the alpha male, so to speak, with brothers and stuff. I mean, they do that all the time. Women do the same thing when they're in their circles. That's why most of the time,
male children challenge the father.
That's what people are wired for, though. Like that's the whole reason why we have the need to prep.
Yeah, that'll be a day, son.
We have the need to prep because we know there's going to be something at some point because we are hardwired to hate each other. That's what we do.
No, we're hardwired with some
You got to
form
think
of
it all started with us creating a government and moving to the Americas and bringing everybody over.
Even before that, look at
I know, but like Aztecs hated the Mayans and all that.
Yep.
It's just
one tribe hated another until those tribes became nations, and those nations hated each other.
Yeah, and then like the Aztecs would take your village. Oh no, sorry, the Aztecs would actually take slaves and human sacrifice everything, but the Mayans would actually take over your city and just make you incorporate you to what they believe in and just leave you where you are. You're Mayans now. You're gone. Your tribe is gone. You're Mayans. This is what you believe in now, but you can stay here.
You're mine now.
Keep growing. Yeah, you're Mayan now.
You're Mayan now.
But
so
the Aztecs are the ones that actually raided you, tied you up, beat you, and then took you to the main city, took you to Mexico City, took you up the.
You either became a slave or sacrificed.
Oh no! Like the women would be sold off. The women would be sold off. The men would be painted in blue, like just splattered with blue, and then taken to the top of of the temple, and then your head was cut off.
Now?
That's exactly what happened in Apocalypto. I love that movie, but like it's actually what they would do with like small tribes.
It is pretty accurate, but I mean Mel Gibson.
But
listen,
the main sacrifice to one of the Aztec gods would be a gorgeous woman up a stone table on top of the pyramids. They have
right.
Now, hey, Zodiac, I've been watching a lot of Supernatural, and it's pretty interesting. I got to the one episode where the people made up a ghost because they believed in it hard enough it became real.
Yes.
What if most of these ancient gods that people have made up are basically that? They had enough belief in it, because even Jesus says if you have belief enough, if you believe something strong enough, you can move a mountain. I mean, what if
I'm not
what
gonna
if that's
say too much on this topic. I will say keep watching.
I'm just saying, like, what if that's one of the apocalyptic
I don't wanna give
things?
too much away.
It's some kind of demon form of something that comes back, and it's like, I want to conquer the world, and it's so freaking powerful. I mean, how do you stop it? You know, people have believed it enough to. I mean, they do that with Final Fantasy.
Okay, we're
a lot,
talking
though.
about X-Men now. Are you quoting X-Men?
No, I'm talking about some kind of demonic,
obliterating Egypt.
some kind of demonic deity that wants to control the world. I mean, we've had this in the the Bible kind of mentions it, goes on.
Different things.
See, now you're
12
taking our prepping episode and taking it into the supernatural.
I'm just saying, like, how would you prep for a supernatural occurrence?
You don't.
Well,
That's
you
that's
can't.
my question.
I mean,
There's not really a way.
I guess if I'm gonna count on something like biblical or whatever, I'll go with I'm gonna count on the giving tree is gonna save me. If we're gonna go with fairy tale, then
Giving tree.
See, I've seen the shows on Supernatural, and I've seen some of the stuff. Some of that stuff can be pretty accurate. Other stuff, like the jinn and genies and...
now, I will say Supernatural kind of, if I was to believe in that stuff, kind of nails it on the head. I feel like that's how God and the angels would be.
And you know what the funny thing is?
Just like, we're better than you.
Show is actually folklore. Most of it else is...
But the thing is, Chaos
angels.
is...
I can handle all that. But it's the folklore that they bring to life, and I'm like, fuck away.
But Chaos, it's like even the, like, I don't know if
Have
it
you
was the
seen the
last
Cupid
episode
episode?
we were talking about,
The
but
episode is amazing.
But Zodiac, I wanted to say that, like, the last episode we talked about, the healer, I was watching this video, I'm like, holy shit. You know, I've always felt like, for the longest time, that, you know, when I was younger, I had these thoughts about, you know, my dad passed away, he was taken from me. I kind of always had these thoughts that the death owed me for that. And I watched that episode with the healer, and I was like, I was literally in that same situation with a healer priest who was blind. And I was like, what the fuck? You know, he was blind, and he's healing all these people, and they're just coming back to life, and it's a Grim Reaper just taking somebody else's place, forcing somebody else to die for them to be healed. And I'm like, what? It's, you know, and when the priest put his hand on my head, I just saw this, like, inky blackness come into my... It's like when you close your eyes and you imagine, and you just, you know, you're thinking about stuff, you're dreaming. It looked like this inky blackness just came into my skull, and I just pushed away from it. I'm like, I don't want this. And it was like how the healer was putting his hand on the people, and he was resurrecting them with the life force of someone else, but somebody else had died for that. And it just that episode just blew my mind. I'm just like,
but it's been so long.
For there to be life, a life has to be taken. It has to be a balance there. That's
exactly.
That category falls into. However, as far as the belief system, me personally, I'm a God-fearing man. I'm not sure about my young son in here in the other room, but I believe he may be a God-fearing man as well.
Sure, but with the Old Testament, it talks about the angel of death.
My oldest child, though, will tell you flat out, I'm an atheist and there is no God. That's what he believes. Okay. He came into my house and he saw me doing my thing, and, you know, every now and then I just start talking to the ceiling and having my own conversation with the big man upstairs, and he'd look at me like I was crazy, and I'm looking at him when I'm done saying, what? He'd go, you know, I don't believe in that stuff. So,
see, and that's the difference between agnostic and atheist. I'm agnostic. I'm not going to condemn you for believing that. I just don't believe it.
Yeah.
But atheist, they're douchebags.
I told him flat out, I said, that's your belief. Don't push your belief onto me because you don't like what I'm doing.
Right. And that's the thing. Atheists are douchebags. They're the ones who are going to be like, oh, that's stupid. Why are you going to pray? Why do you even believe in that? It's stupid.
I'm just saying, with something like this, if there is a Reaper spirit, you know, it's not good, it's not bad, it just kills. you know, what if the apocalypse is like that?
There is.
I mean, there's almost nothing you can do. You could prep,
He's one of the 4 horsemen.
but what could you do if
See,
it just
but
touches
that's the
you?
thing. If you believe in God and you believe in that plan, then what is the point of prepping?
There wouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
Exactly.
Like, if you believe in all that, then why do you prep?
But I'm saying,
I mean,
like,
it's
if
God's
if
plan,
you do,
right? You're supposed to.
if you do
die.
what kind of
A lot
apocalypse it
people
was,
prep out of fear. Okay. A lot of people prep out of
And
fear
by
because
some religious
afraid-
beliefs,
they're
if
afraid
the
to die
apocalypse
because-
happens, then you were supposed to have been raptured. You shouldn't be there anyway.
But see, they're afraid to die because they don't know what's on the inside. Okay, and a couple shows back, I told me, I can tell you, the other side's beautiful. I have no problem going back.
then why were you yelling at them to revive you? That was the
I
thing
wasn't
that.
yelling at them to revive me. I was telling you about my cousin got stabbed in the heart on that one. He was yelling at them to revive him.
Oh,
Me, I was just standing there thinking that was the coolest thing since fucking popcorn. Man.
you were gonna grab some popcorn and watch them revive you. Oh
I
my
didn't say
I
gosh.
almost died once, and I just kind
I
of
didn't
remember a
say
lot of
that. I said it
blackness
was the
and
coolest thing since
vague memories of them trying to bring me back or whatever they were doing over me.
Yeah, I had that same
Maybe I
situation
wasn't
too, but
near
I was.
enough to death.
Yeah, you
Zodiac, I had the same exact
gone.
situation with that too, but I was like on the ground and I couldn't think about what's going on, and I just had these streaming thoughts of you're going to die. But it's like, you know how you think in your head, you have your same voice that you think when you're thinking. It wasn't the same voice, and
Yeah.
I was literally having a stroke at the
Nobody
time.
thinks in their actual voice.
There's different things that happen. Like me, I got
Fuck, they did a whole episode of Batman Beyond about that, where the Mad Hatter was trying to drive Bruce Wayne crazy, but he kept saying Bruce in his head. And he's like, at the end, they're like, how'd you know you weren't going crazy? He's like, I don't call myself Bruce when I talk to myself. Calls himself
So-
Batman.
So
It's
what
because I'm
happens is
Batman.
there's 2 different things that usually happen. Mine, personally, I got to see peaceful. I got to see people I knew. Got to stand over myself, watch what happened, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody else I've talked to has had a similar experience. They saw fire and flames.
They saw flames.
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing is, like, I feel like you go where you want to go. And I think if you commit enough bad things in life where you're like, fuck it, I fucking hate everybody, I'm going to do all the
chemical
shitty things to
reactions
people,
in your brain.
you go that direction. But if you're trying to do good things, you go that direction. I think that's what I think. That's what I've been coming to understand as far as what I believe.
Me personally, I don't believe there's really any point in prepare. Yeah, prepare to stay alive as long as you can. But
Yeah, we're getting off topic.
ultimately, shit's going to happen. You're going to go. Period.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, it's all apocalyptic stuff. I mean, the chances of you dying, quite high, regardless of
Yes.
how
A lot
good
more
you
than
are.
than sitting in your own living room, I'll tell you that.
I mean, because the thing is, you're sitting comfortably at home, but as soon as the apocalypse happens, you have to immediately go into apocalypse mind frame. And how fast is everybody going to be able to do that? If you got a huge family, how fast are they all going to be able to get ready to move out? Get
I don't know.
packed.
I don't know
Well,
about the
considering-
average person.
I'm just saying,
but
I
us
can't get my
veterans-
family to leave the house on time when we plan ahead for like a week.
Yeah. Let's see.
So I feel like apocalypse scenario, we'd probably last about 6 months tops.
See, us veterans, it would kick in almost immediately. That's what we're trained for. We're trained to handle shit. The average person, they're the ones going to be screaming, panicking, freaking the fuck out.
Right. Like,
Then you're
Well,
gonna have
and-
the douchebags. Oh shit! It's apocalypse. I'm gonna loot everybody and their fucking grandmother. I'm gonna take all this shit with me.
Yep.
Okay.
fuck, our lights were dimming at work tonight, and I told the girl working next to me, the lights go out. I'm gonna loot this place and run.
No, but that's, you got to really think about it when it's
Glad the lights
when
didn't go out, because honestly, I
Yeah.
feel like most of these
I'm
people don't
thinking-
get my
I'm
sarcasm.
Independence Day scenario. Okay. The movie Independence Day. All them alien ships overhead, and
Yeah,
then
but we're fighting
you see
against the
the
aliens
street,
at that
everybody's
point.
fucking, yeah, but disregard the alien ships. I'm just thinking the looting situation would be similar, because everybody on the streets busting into people's houses and just taking what the hell they want.
Right. Honestly, I'm gonna say alien invasion apocalypse scenario. That's like my worst nightmare. That's my biggest fear. So I will be fetal position under my bed.
Wait,
in
with
that
the
one.
Predator and aliens? Predator versus aliens
No,
is
like
probably the scariest
you know what it is?
thing.
I blame it on the movie Fire in the Sky.
Oh man, that one scared the hell out of
Yeah, I saw that movie when I was like fucking 4.
Wait, is that
And
like
since
Screamers?
then
Yeah,
I
when
have
I
like a
was little-
petrifying fear of
The
I
fourth
could
alien
watch
invasion.
somebody
really
get
scary.
beheaded.
I don't know if any of you've seen it, but the fourth kind, that was really,
Fourth Kind was fucked up too. I saw that one.
that was scary.
Did they,
was that
did
the
they
one with the
communicate with
owls?
lights
That-
at the
That's
end?
the one where they had the screen split in half. They had the actor in the Hollywood version versus the real videotapes of the real woman on the
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
that's
was the one I'm
fourth
talking
kind.
about. The owls in Alaska and all that shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was the Mila Jovovich, whatever.
Milo Jovovich.
Jovovich.
Mila
Probably Jovovich.
Mila Jovovich.
Yeah.
J's or Y's.
All I gotta say is Mila. You know who I mean.
The Resident Chicky.
Milia.
The Resident Evil chick. There you go.
Mila.
That works.
Yes, I saw that
Yeah.
one.
We're all dyslexic here, so it's okay.
You know, all this spaceman stuff got started back in the 50s and 60s. What really
You know what-
bumped up was 2 movies that came out in the late 70s. Okay.
Flash Gordon.
No, it really bumped up with Star Wars. It really bumped up with Star Wars and then Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That really set off this whole alien genre. Was that one movie right there?
Nah, if you look at old movies, we've always been about that shit.
Well, like I said,
War of the
started back in
Worlds.
50s, 60s.
Just
but
watch Mystery Science Theater
no,
3000.
not
You'll
true.
see millions
Welles.
of terrible movies.
Orson Welles back in the 20s or 30s scared the hell out of the entire fucking nation reading a script about an alien invasion over radio. He had mass hysteria going in the streets. There's an article on that online.
Oh yeah, I remember that still being big news when I was a kid.
Yep.
I actually read a lot of the books because of that. I actually think I still have the original War of the Worlds on VHS.
That's
Somewhere.
the one he was reading, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
He had the entire nation on its knees with reading that. Everybody was fucking petrified to even leave their house. Somebody fall down.
You guys still there?
What?
Yeah. All I heard was dum 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 dum. I was like,
Oh, I went to take a
Who fell?
piss. I had to go.
Oh, that might have been me typing a message. I was just saying we should wrap.
Oh,
Should too.
Hour and a half-ish.
yeah.
Yep.
I think an alien apocalypse. I don't know. I don't think there'd
Oh,
be a
we're
lot of
bound.
looting. I think we would just. fight
No, there would
against
still
them,
be
like-
plenty of loot.
See, I mean, you also got, real quick about the alien apocalypse. if there is a alien life force out there in the gazillion galaxies, they're probably having the same issue going out into space that we are. Just think about it. We haven't
but
achieved light
even
speed.
if there was an alien apocalypse, it would be similar to Independence Day. You'd have all the fucking idiots on top of buildings with signs saying "Welcome."
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And I mean, you gotta also think. People think they're advanced, and they'll walk on two legs, and they'll have a mind of our own. A piece of bacteria on Mars is considered alien because it's living on a different planet.
Man, you live in a different country, you're called an alien. Come over here.
But I bet you, if we
That's a
get that
different kind
piece
of
of
alien.
bacteria onto our planet, and it's super deadly, it could wipe us out.
Yeah.
Have you seen Life?
Yeah. We
You
saw the
basically
life.
just described the entire premise of that movie.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
Deadpool had to die. That was a terrible, terrible idea. Ryan Reynolds, I'm sorry,
Right?
man. I'm so sorry you had to play that part. That was the worst part you had to play since Deadpool. It just
Like I said, I couldn't
it
do
brought
it
it down.
because Jake Gyllenhaal. I blame Jake Gyllenhaal for killing the Joker.
yeah. Well, I
We've
can
talked
see
about
that.
this before.
I know.
It's
We-
all
we definitely
Gyllenhaal's
have.
fault. Wouldn't you kill yourself if you had to have a mouthful of Gyllenhaal?
I
Either
never saw
one,
that
really.
movie.
I mean, Maggie
So-
or Jake.
Yeah, I haven't seen that other movie, so I can't say one way or another. But I mean, that movie Life really, I mean, there are parts of Life like that just don't make sense. Like they have 6 seconds
What was
of
that one
extra
movie?
fuel.
What the fuck was that movie where they had tornadoes landing in Hollywood, volcanic eruptions all over?
Sharknado?
No.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, no.
2012 maybe.
Yeah, that would be the one, 2012. I think that would be a more accurate prediction of what may happen because we're well overdue for that super volcano in Yellowstone to blow. And once that
Yeah.
goes, God knows how many states are going with it.
I
New
would
York
I
be
would say
great. They had
yeah,
a
I would
blast
say a
radius
natural
map.
disaster would be the most likely.
But that would
Yeah.
That could send us into the next ice age.
that would send
Yellowstone
ash into the
Yellowstone
air
would blow its
All
smother-
right,
cap.
boys. Keep it on track.
So no, this is all
I'm thinking
apocalypse.
that
It's
would-
I know, we're just going long. We have
I'm
Okay.
just saying that would throw up enough ash in the air to smother out life.
Right. I will say,
Possibly.
before we go, I also did a poll on Twitter tonight to see how many of our listeners were prepping, how many thought, nah, we'll be cool, or other, and nobody commented with their other. Everybody voted between yes, I have a plan, and no, we'll be fine. And 88% of our listeners think that they're going to be fine.
Oh, shit.
88% of our listeners.
Really
So,
have a
those
plan.
88% of you, please message me your details so I know where to come during the apocalypse. 'Cause,
Yeah, they're all
I don't
gonna
have
go
a
to
lot
the
of prep
hospital
right now,
and the
I
grocery
can
stores.
definitely use the easy stores.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, Zodiac, you're gonna have to go all witchcraft with that. You're gonna have to go,
Right?
doctor medicine. You can't go to the hospital. You can't go to the superstores. That's where all the death is gonna be. That's where people are gonna just randomly kill
by
people.
stores, I mean stuff.
convenience
Oh,
store.
yeah.
Gonna rob them because they think they're fine.
Okay.
All right, Dick, move.
So-
I'm sorry. I'm not going to rob you guys. I love you.
Get him, killer. Get him, killer.
You got the dog all riled up.
Did the dogs know I'm lying?
Yeah, obviously
Probably.
didn't like that comment.
All right, guys, let's wrap it.
All right.
Dude.
I'm the Zodiac. Follow us on Twitter at I'm the Zodiac. That's where you'll find all the newest Crow Show news. Also, I've been updating our Facebook just about as often as the Twitter, so follow us on Facebook. The Real Crow Show, I think it's at The Real Crow Show on Facebook, or just fucking search The Crow Show.
Yeah, that's better. And yeah,
Either one works.
Okay, so you'll also find us on my channel, VeracityTrigger, with the Crow Show and all that stuff, and also posting to Mines. I got to update that a little bit now, but yeah, we got our own website, all that stuff. So we got a lot of things rocking for us, and Chaos is here.
That's right.
B Button Brand is here.
Twitch. That I do
Yep.
every now and then.
Otherwise known as Backward Leopard on my PS4 accounts. I should change that. You know that?
Yeah, is that the same as your Twitch?
Yeah, that's my Twitch name. Yeah, B Button Brand.
Yeah, you can catch
There we
me
go.
sometimes on the Crow Show, no spaces, on Twitch as well. Game with Zodiac and Trigger and Backward Leopard every now and then.
Okay.
Yeah, and
right.
also, sorry, Zodiac as well. Hit up my my YouTube. I'm the Zodiac. All one word, all lowercase. And I've been bringing back the 6-pack Saturdays, so I should be on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Live
Yeah.
streaming, I guess.
Maybe we'll do some apocalyptic stuff to keep the theme.
Yeah, that's right. It's my
I
day
think we
2
should, all
of
get together and
what
try
the
the
fuck's it
Killing
called?
Floor 2 together. That would be something
Cross
to try
out.
out. Yeah, we could do
yeah,
cross
I'm gonna be
out,
doing
but-
cross out.
Real quick, we have a new Twitch name too. The Crow Show. Or
No
is it the
spaces.
Crow Clan? The Crow Clan.
Crow
No
Clan.
spaces.
No
No
spaces.
spaces. We stream from there whenever we feel like it. We haven't had a set schedule, so we streamed once on there already just to test the quality on Crossout and
links
everything.
Get posted to my Facebook at KaosPanikDisorder on Facebook. So you,
Damn, everybody's got their own shit going on.
We got
Jeez.
work to do.
All right.
hey,
so
you wanted to expand it, bro.
Yeah, we're everywhere.
And
yay.
that's all I gotta say. So
Yeah,
All
you
right,
guys
everyone,
can't
good
go
night.
anywhere
Yeah.
without tripping over a crow. So we'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Definitely subscribe,
night.
like, share,
good morning,
all that stuff.
morning, night, whatever it is, whenever you see this.
Yep.
Good day,
No.
sir.